she continues, slightly embarrassed. This is Gilbert, Noel. Surely you remember him from long ago when I was but a child? After a while, it dawns on the elderly woman that she once knew this man, and an expression of recognition comes over her face. Ah, yes, Master Gilbert, all grown up, I see. And what a fine gentleman you turned out to be. Is that sarcasm? Ah, now we're never gonna get out of this, Kid says, sitting down on a couch with her head in her hands. Could this still be a trap, I wonder? You know what? I'm gonna keep going with what I learned in the last one, and that Noel seems to be an okay person. So, let's not take Riddel hostage. Let's let Majel do what he thinks is best. Although, once again, I don't think that any of the options at this point matter. It kind of all loops around, I believe. I stoop down to where Kid's sitting and whisper, Magel's got more experience than us. I think we should let him handle this. Kid goes utterly numb. The maid notices us whispering to each other and takes a step backwards. Well, who is this young lady? These two are my business associates, Majel says, offering a simple introduction. I see. Since Master Gilbert says so, I will extend my welcome to you. I am Lady Riddel's personal servant. My name is Noel. Nice to meet you. I've known Master Gilbert ever since he was a wee lad. She goes on, telling us about various things from their past. It seems like they've had quite an illustrious upbringing. And so, Master Gilbert and Lady Riddel often shared one another's company, stealing each other's eyes. However, one day he was whisked far away. Could this get any more exciting? Kid asks. There's some sarcasm. Noel and Kid exchange looks, but she continues momentarily after recomposing herself. Once, in a secret meeting at their favorite flower garden, an oath was made between the two. In that beautiful courtyard, future prospects were indeed planned upon. However, the maid's eyes darken as she continues. But, as everyone knew, Lady Riddel had already been assigned a suitor. Riddel's shoulders sink upon hearing this. Noel, why did you have to mention that? Now our oath is void. Magel's eyes shimmer in the dim light. Through all this, Kid has been just about pushed to her limit. Unable to be obedient any longer, she stands up, eyes flaring. Kid leaps out ahead of Majel, confronting the two. Listen up, I'm the great thief Kid, and we're here tonight in this mansion too. But she's broken off by the maid. How dare you, you rude young lady? Surely you know better than to act in such a way before the lady of the house. Ha! You got something coming to you old wench, Kid snarls, now eye to eye with Noel. Majel quickly comes between the two, first addressing the maid. Please, do not worry. I have never shown any malice towards you or Riddel, nor have I ever meant any harm, and I will not allow any to happen in the future. Please accept my apologies on my accomplice's behalf. Master Gilbert. Continuing on, he then turns toward Kid. Perhaps it would be best if we left. Huh? Kid and Noel exchange glances. Then, at the same time, one single idea seems to pop into both Noel's and Kid's minds. What in blazes are you thinking, running off with Riddel? Kid yells. At the very same moment, Noel shouts, What in the world, my lady? How could you think of elopement at a time like this? Magel's mouth drops wide open. No, that is not what I meant. But it's useless. The yelling resumes, louder than ever, hopelessly drowning out Magel's reasoning. What kind of gentleman do you think you are? Honestly thinking of eloping without telling a single soul. Noel ensues before stomping out of the room in a rage. Damn it, we gotta think about the frozen flame here, Kid shouts, tugging on Magel's shirt. Riddel doesn't seem to be very happy either, having once again regressed into tears. Magel's vow of love seems to be on its last leg. I'm starting to wonder if there's any hope for this situation at all anymore. In any case, Riddel can't possibly want to be burdened with all this torment. If I could just talk her down out of all this commotion, it might be all right. If only I had more options. It won't be a bad life living with him. He's a good guy. I honestly could not say that. I don't, as much as I have hung out with Gilbert here, I don't necessarily have an answer for that one. I don't know if he's a good guy. You do want to escape this terrible mansion, don't you? That makes a little bit more sense. We'll go with that. I do not intend to leave this house, Riddel says in a strict tone. What kind of lifestyle could you hope to provide for me compared to this? You need to buy me things, apparently. True, my lady. You do live in the lap of luxury here. But look around. Is this truly where you want to be? My foster father will not allow it. It would never work out. Oh, Gilbert, why must you do this to me? Please, be calm, Riddel. I have more than enough savings to cover a down payment for marriage funds and a new home, Majel reassures. You know, that down payment on marriage funds. In addition, honeymoon travel expenses will be provided from wedding gift money. You've thought this out a little bit too far, Majel. Mentioning the wedding gift money, Majel glances at us. Whoa, don't look at me. Kid's the thief here. Nope. Majel's presented a good case, but I just don't know if Riddel's swallowing it all. Suddenly alarms blare out all around us. Damn that bloody maid. What do we do now? Flustered, I look to Majel. We must be on our way, he says. Riddel nods after a moment. Indeed, it's best for you to leave tonight, she says. In time, perhaps you may return. Then I might be able to look upon you as a friend. Oh! Gut shot. A friend. A friend! Hearing that word in terms of their relationship seems to strike through Majel's heart like a searing hot knife. No, I will not leave here without you, he yells suddenly. Riddel, please, I beg you, come with me now. Footsteps can be heard from down the hallway. The guards are coming for us, quickly! Majel lightly picks up Riddel, putting her over his shoulder as he makes for the door. They're getting closer, Kid says, peeking around the corner. With his cape gallantly fluttering behind him, Majel bolts down the highway. Hallway, not highway. Come on, they're right behind us. Oh no, there they are, right there. Ha! Like a hurricane, Majel effortlessly rams one of the guards into the wall while I knock the other senseless without even stopping, I think is what it said. At last, we've slipped out of the huge mansion. I'm utterly exhausted. I gasp huge breaths as I stumble down onto a nearby grassy clearing deep in the woods. But suddenly, thunderous booms start to echo out from far behind us. Looking up into the open nighttime sky, fireworks of all colors adorn the starry evening. I stare upwards, dumbfounded. What's going on? Kid asks. Then, through the trees, I look up at the mansion, and all my questions are answered. There, we see all the occupants of Viper Manor waving and cheering for us. Long live Mistress Riddel! Hip hip hooray! Good luck! We'll all be over for brunch once you're settled. Whoa, brunch? I don't know what to serve for brunch. Then Kid nudges me, pointing to the rooftop. And there, Lord Lynx sits solemnly with a tear in his eye, waving to us. Apparently he's friendly now. The father of the bride. Riddel lifts her head up to speak, briefly pausing from her joyful sobs. All this fuss, all this fighting. It is I who should be apologizing, my lady, Majel says, putting his forehead to hers, wiping her cheek with his handkerchief, which he had apparently. Oh, Gilbert, it's the same old you, she says, sighing. In this scenario, I have a little bit of a hard time taking particularly seriously. From far across the landscape, a deep, shimmering light begins to fill the sky. Look, Riddel, there's our frozen flame, Majel says, pointing towards the morning sun. Majel, caught between love and adventure. That is the name of the scenario that we did finish. Even though it says the end, they're still going to give us some additional text. Like I said, hard to consider this canon. I can't see how Majel's name could be Gilbert here. But maybe he's not the same guy that I think he is. But I thought it was pretty clearly Magus from Chrono Trigger, you know? And so, the curtain closes on another tale. However, another time after the spotlight had faded from Gilbert, Riddel, and Noelle. in another place and another time. A similar band of adventurers had come forth, equally unsuspecting of their other selves, and life went on as they strode out into the great unknown. But that's a story for another day. For now, I shall put down my pen. As I softly close my grandfather's diary, I hear my mother's voice call to me from downstairs. "Didn't you hear me? Your friend is here." I turn around already knowing who it is. My door opens quite energetically where I see a strangely nostalgic young girl barge in. "Serge, we found some ruins of an old mansion up in northern Kitsune Forest today. Come on, let's go exploring." And that, I guess, is a story that we might not hear the actual, continuation of. That might be all that we hear. But that, I do believe, will take us to credits. Yet again, we do go through the credits once more. They're kind of short, so I'll try to talk about this particular scenario as we go through that. So the scenario itself, it's short compared to the first one, of course. All of the side scenarios are going to be, as really they should be. They're kind of optional, they're bonus, they shouldn't be as long as the main quest. But this one I felt was a little bit long, lots of talking, particularly between Majel and Riddel. That was kind of unexpected. Like I said, it's hard to say that this is canon in either game, either Chrono Trigger or Chrono Cross. I'm still going to try to not talk about Chrono Cross too much, but at least in the first one, they kind of implied that Majel was Magus from Chrono Trigger, so it's kind of hard to then see him as this guy named Gilbert, who grew up with Riddel as Lord Lynx's, well, not necessarily Lord Lynx, but, in this world, it's kind of hard to just stick his backstory in here. But like I said, it's easier to consider this non-canon because the first decision that we made was to go to sleep. So you could say that this is a dream, and therefore is just Serge's dream. Apparently he already knew about Riddel. I kind of got the impression from the first scenario that he didn't really know much about anything that he was getting into. But then when you go into this dream, as my theory kind of pushes for, he knows about Riddel and, all the rooms that we went in that led up to that. But once again, it's kind of hard to say how this necessarily fits in. I say it's a dream. It's kind of the easiest explanation for me. There's still some holes in that logic, but that's kind of the way that I see it. So that is scenario number 2 down. This is one that only has one ending. Some of the other ones do have multiple endings. Particularly, I'm looking at the next scenario. That actually has 3 endings. We will be going through all of them, trying to get as much out of Radical Dreamers as we can. Since we have now seen it twice, I will attempt to skip the cutscenes from this point forward. But I felt that I should go through kind of all the stuff so you guys get a glimpse of what is the same in this scenario and what is different. I believe the credits were exactly the same, but I could not say that with any amount of certainty. I was not memorizing it as we went along. Although I do have to say, Kid, honestly, she looks better here than she does in whatever. All right, Finn, we did it. And Serge, he's like a freaking gnome in this. But that's so Magus, man. That's so him. All right, so Finn again. And now we should go back to the scenario checklist, where we do have 2 of them filled in. And with that done, that is going to do it for these parts of Radical Dreamers. I have been Baller Scuba. I've been joined, as always, by Majel, who has been caught between love and adventure. And this time it seems he chose love. Hope you guys have enjoyed these parts. Hope you laughed. Hope you learned. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.